Good Sunday morning, everybody. Welcome to Sunday with Spirit. For those joining for the first time, this is not a political poll, it's a spiritual poll. Welcome, everybody. Every Sunday, a group of us, we get together and we jump up and down on the web of creation. And as I think about that web, as we vibrate on it, as we infuse what we are sending out onto that web, and that web stretches throughout the world, throughout the universe. So what our thoughts are, what our actions are, affects somebody else on the other side of the web. And maybe not so much affects them, but colors their mood, maybe. And then I was thinking today, somebody told me today in our journey session where they were flying above all of this crap. And the bird that they were said, you don't need to go down there, you can just look at what is down on this earth plane. But you don't need to get in it, you can stay above it. I thought that was really good. And I went back to when I go hiking and I see scat on the trail. I look at it, I may poke at it a little bit, see what they ate, and then move on. I certainly don't like play in it too much, but I do play in it a little bit. And then somebody mentioned to me where you have a cup and somebody bumps into you while you are holding this cup, and whatever is in that cup spills out. Whether it's liquid, coffee, tea, and let's just say that this cup is our heart space on the web of creation. And as we have some radical dancers get a little too excited on this web of creation, and they're jumping up and down, and they bump into you and they spill out what you're holding in your cup. What would spill out? So play along if you want. Let's see what spills out of our hearts, our heart cup. Because sometimes we actually get down and we play in that crap too much. You know what I'm saying? We're really digging in there. What did they eat? Really, did they eat that? Maybe, so we're digging too much into that. So, and that does color our space. So let's take a look at it. If you have some cards, if some oracle cards or even tarot cards, you can create your own cup. But generally, let's just see what the cup is. You can see how neat this is. The first card I pulled out, and this was interesting, this is the Tree Keeper's Oracle. And this was pulled out from earlier in the week, but it was upside down. And so it said, hey, use me today. And the Tree Keeper of Oracle says, Keeper of Focus. And I thought that was a good one to start out with. So did it. Tree Keeper of Focus. What are we putting our focus on? I mean, are we like really looking at the scat? Or are we going, yeah, okay, cool, bear, move on. Raccoon. Some people are really obsessed with this. I see this, okay, a little squirrel moment. I see this on our walks in our neighborhood. There is, so my wife, she really works with animals well. You could say she's a scatologist. And there was this raccoon poop on the sidewalk, on the curb. And somebody wrote in chalk, "Your dog can't pick this up." I thought, yeah, but you can. And then Jolene looks at it and says, "That's not a dog, that's a raccoon." So who's putting more garbage on the world, the raccoon or the guy with the chalk? Okay, back to Keeper of Focus. Keeper of Focus. What are we focused on? So here's the cup, and I mixed them all up. So, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Because we're spilling this out. It's just getting all... What is this? Recognition. Are we doing things for recognition? Are we doing things for... is our recognition being spilled out? Ooh. Is our recognition being spilled out of the cup? So sometimes we walk around and we go, I think I want to be just a little invisible today. I don't want to be seen today. I don't want people in my head today or share my vision today. And maybe this card is saying, time to come out of your shell. Maybe, right? Maybe not. What is this recognition saying to you? And maybe I should open up the camera a little more. Let me move things around. Open up this space, open up the cup. Okay. Second card we get. So this is Return of Spirit. This is Angels and Ancestors. Warrior. Be fearless. Stand strong. Warrior. That's good to have in your cup. Being fearless. Here we're talking about recognition spilling out of the cup and going, oh, maybe I don't want to be, recognized. Maybe I shouldn't step out of my comfort zone and do something. And the warrior is saying, yeah, maybe you should. And the warrior just should on you. So, we're talking. Where are we going with? It's so fun. We're talking about scat. We're talking about staying in the crap too long, and then the warrior just shoulds on us. This is a goofy Sunday with Spirit, must say. We have the violet flame. Wow. The violet flame. One of the cool things with this card, and when I went through the book, they said in the center of this is a fractal image of a bat, and this violet flame is all about change. It's all about dropping into that darkness and facing the challenges head on, and knowing that you bring in that violet flame energy of change and transformation, and know that it's going to be okay. Be that warrior with this change. All right, so we're walking, somebody bumps into us. Ooh, look at that. The ability to respond. So this is my Sacred Path cards. The ability to respond. So I go back to that guy who wrote, "Your dog can't pick this up." So when somebody comes up to offends us in a way, knocks our heart space cup that we have everything neatly in, and now our cup is spilled, and some of it's on the ground, some of it's on our shirt. How do we respond? In anger? Or do we, is there a way that we can respond that will trigger them into more anger? And is there a way to respond that will trigger them into more awareness? And I'm not sure I like the word trigger, but it's out there. It was in the cup. And as we keep going, ooh, trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. This is, what is this? I think this is the Starseed Oracle deck. And this one would be the Healing Waters Oracle. And they're both by Rebecca Campbell, so they're both very similar. But getting back to our cup that is knocked all over the place, trust the timing, trust the wave that you came in on. I was talking to some friends of mine who are in their 20s, and they are on this enlightenment path, and it's fascinating. It is fascinating to hear them talk and to hear them what they are going through. And they call me for advice, and I go, "What? You're calling, really? I thought you guys thought I was crazy." And now they're the crazy ones, and I have to tell them, "No, you're not crazy." But what they're going through and how they go through it it's so powerful. And I think to myself, I go, if only I would have paid more attention to what Spirit was trying to tell me earlier. And what this card is reminding me is that this is my time. I wouldn't have gotten the information back then. So just trust that this is all working out according to the teacup, coffee cup. All right. And if you're a hillbilly brother, the beer stein. This is really squirrely. Okay, let's keep going. And this is the Healing Oracle, Birth Mysteries. Oh, this is pretty. What are you being called to create? Oh my gosh, that got spilled out of the cup. Here we're in this nice little womb. What are you being called to create? That might give you some recognition. You may need to be that warrior. Okay. Moving on. Back to angels and ancestors. It's knocking our intuitive messages out into the daylight. It's kind of like this violet flame where the messages get knocked out of the darkness and they're in light. It's the transformation card. Ooh, lovely, 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 lovely. Moon. And now we're back to the Starseed Oracle. Whale and Orca Elders. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. Is that what bumped into us? A whale or orca elder? Whale and orca. It's funny. So I think about that. You know, you think about somebody knocking you and you know, spilling something that you had, and I think about this ability to respond. How would I respond? Hey, buddy, watch where you're going. But if it's a whale, how would I respond to the whale energy? Would that be different than somebody else's energy? I think so. And then the Sacred Path cards, healing. Is the spilling of the cup healing? Is the letting all this out a healing process? Or is part of what's in our heart space healing for others that needs to be on the web of creation? And the last card, the pink dolphin. Celebration, fun, unbridled joy, open heart. So as we run through the emotions that we felt when someone knocked into us while we were on the web of creation, knocked our heart cup and made it spill on the web. And we went through all of these emotions: recognition, standing strong, the change of the violet flame going into the dark, the transformation, how we respond, trusting the timing, trusting the birth. What are we being called to create? Paying attention to our intuitions, the messages of sound, of healing. And the last card is don't forget the joy of all of this. And maybe that's why I was being so silly and goofy in the front of this. It was the pink dolphin made me do it. Celebration, fun, unbridled joy, open heart. The message for me is, if I'm holding my heart space, my cup of heart space, and not letting it out with all of its positives, negatives, what I perceive as a negative, which is probably not to other people. But if I hold that too tight and don't let it out, don't let it spill, then I am doing a disservice to my creativity, to my birth mysteries, to my healing. And the Keeper of Focus, which was the very first card that goes with the very last card, unbridled joy and open heart. That's the focus. Thank you guys for watching this Sunday with Spirit. Peace, love, happiness, joy. The pink dolphin.